Hello there once again. My name is Albert, and today's section would be about INFJ's relationship, based on a lovely request of a friend of the INFJ post. So I hope you like this to my INFJ fellows and any viewers out there. So to begin, INFJ's relationship. First, I need anyone that sees this video to understand that INFJs women and INFJs males are totally different and they interact differently. And even though they have their differences, they also have the similarities, which they are INFJs and they share some common traits. For example, me, I'm just going to talk about my experience on the relationships I have been. And one thing I have read, which is almost on every article, is that INFJs are very private and it takes a while for any other types to get to know them, which is true and also not true at the same time, if allow me to explain. You see, if you're in a relationship and that person is just not that interested, and sometimes us INFJs, we just have this amazing thing to feel if a person is being true or not. So we just take our time very slowly, so that we tend to know that, so that we can get to know that person and see if that person is also trustworthy to let our inner self, you know. And me on the other one, why I say it's not true, because it also depends on the situations. um, I believe this is something that most INFJ suffers, is that to find love, it is really hard. I mean, let's say if you break up from a relationship, it takes you months or even a year to recover, and then after you have recovered, it takes you even maybe 3 to 5 years to find another partner, or year, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4, 5, whatever. The point is, it takes a lot to find somebody else to be with. And unlike others, they can just simply date somebody else in less than a year, you know? So, me, in a relationship, I consider myself a hopeless romantic, where I like the classic things such as letters, poetries, and also calling your partner once in a while. Or let's say if she just woke up, I will call my partner to say good morning, for example. I like those simple yet classic things at the same time. And another thing I have noticed is that in a relationship, when we see something that we don't like from our partner, we tend to be very forgiving. And the reason why we forgive them is because it is part of our harmony. It is part of our harmonious way to make the relationship work. Now, it really depends how much it disturbs your principles and your values. If it's just something simple, let's say the person smoked and you never knew about it, and now you know about it, and you're like, I don't like that. You're like, well, just let's forget it, and let's see what we can do about it. Me personally, for example, if I had a girlfriend that uses marijuana and we are in a relationship, I'm not going to run away. I hate quitting. Like, I don't know, I guess is for INFJs, we just don't use the term relationship. It's like we become, we marry ourselves with that person, if it makes sense. And when I say that, it's like, when I say that, it's because we just go all out and we just want to make things work. It's like we just have this a huge need to be understand, to find somebody to be with it with them. Oh, yeah. So if that person at the moment is the one that you can share some of your life experience, some of your thoughts, your principles, your values without being judged, but they have that flaw, you're like, well, whatever, you know? We're just there for it, to make things work. And it's like we easily mend our rules, mend our values, so that the other person can blend into our lives. So like I said, if the person is using marijuana and now I know it, I'm not going to run away, but what I would do is I will work harder to make that person happy. Because if she's relying on marijuana to feel better, it makes me think that I'm not doing a good job of being a good boyfriend. So, you know what? Bring it on. I'll make it happen, and I'll see if I can be the miracle of your life. That's one example of the hopeless romantic that I can be. Um, when I want to express something, I do it by writing a letter, poem, or anything that pretty much helps me express my creativity for and my love to that person. And I think other INFJs can relate. What I do is I don't go to YouTube or Google or Facebook to find a nice quote to share to that person. What I do is just I make one personally and I share it with that person, you know. And another thing about the relationship, on why we are so loyal, why do we have this value, this principle to be very loyal in a relationship, and why we're very serious with it. Me though, when it comes to me, and I have to confess it on this video, I have never been I have never been in a relationship where I can have the girl with me. Like right now, I say that I have a girlfriend, but that's because we're a long distance relationship, so I don't have no interaction, you know. So yes, we have a long distance relationship, and very soon is either she's coming to live with me or I'm going to live with her, and she's an INFP. So we can see that both of us were very serious about it, because either you're an INFP or an INFJ, both shares the same characteristic of taking relationships very seriously. So going back again to what I said, I am 23 years old and I have not had a girlfriend in person. And reason to that is because of how complex I can be. I'm quiet, and sometimes I just want the girl to talk something interesting, you know. I like the girl to be expressful, or to tell you the truth, I just don't know. Because for example, the last one I tried, or the one that tried to hit on me, she said that she likes guys to touch her hands, hold her hands, hug her, all those physical touch. And I'm like, whoa, take it easy, because thing is, I don't go there. I just like to know you as a person first, and if I like you, I will do it, you know. The thing is, I like to connect with a person by soul. Like, I like to know who you are, where you came from, what makes you who you are, what are you interested in, and based or how you respond your questions to me, that also is a trigger to make me like you more, for example. So if I don't get that from a girl, I'm like, nah. I mean, I'm more into girls that are different, not like going into a lot of groups. I like girls who are like introvert girls, that you see them sitting by themselves, eating quietly, or hearing music, or they have a book and they're reading, etc. I like introvert girls because I know they're just very unique, and I know that just like me, they have a lot to say, they have a lot to express, so it will make it easier for me to interact with them, you know. But since like most of the girls I have met are extroverts, it's kind of hard, and they lack some sort of a values, and they tend to say that I'm just too much, or maybe I'm just too good for them, and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, that's what they say to me. Most of them, they just reject me. I mean, the ones that try to know me, they have failed, and the one that I have tried to go after, they they just reject me, saying that I'm just too good to be true, and that I'm just too nice, and they're not the one for me, you know. But to explain the loyalty, why we tend to be very serious and very loyal, is because of that reason. Because it's just hard for us to find that special connection. It's hard for us to feel that we can just be ourselves and just like unmask all of our faces and just show them, this is who I am. The vulnerable side, because the thing is, to love you need to be vulnerable. So it's hard to find that person where you can be vulnerable and you don't get to be judged. Now, there was one thing that somebody said to me that hurts, because I was trusting this girl and I thought that maybe she's the right one. And she said to me, why are you expressing too much? Why are you saying these things? I mean, seriously, those are the things that girls should do, not guys. So to put it in a to get to the point, it's hard being an INFJ male, because girls think that we're just weak, and most girls, they just like this super alpha male, the aggressive one, the assertive one. I mean, yeah. And just to let anyone know, any guy can be assertive if they know what they want, and I know what I want. And if I see it, I go after it. And just like I know I want my relationship to work, I'm freaking assertive when it comes to my relationship. I'm very serious with it, and I know that any other INFJs are the same way. So, that's pretty much why we just tend to be very serious in a relationship. You know, it's like, it's all or nothing. You know, it's like, okay, it took me 5 years to meet you, so I'm not letting you go. I'm not going back there again where I have to wait 5 to 7 years to meet somebody again. And another thing is that I wish other types could understand why we are very caring and very uh, loving, is because the way how we look at it is, I'm devoting my trust, I'm devoting my time, I'm risking my own self to a mortal person, which I know that nothing is perfect. Sooner or later, maybe you're just going to leave, but I'm letting it out, you know? And the reason why this is very important is because, you look at it this way: a business guy invests millions of dollars or thousands of dollars in a business, right? That guy is expecting the business to grow and to give him some fruits, to give him some benefits. Well, that's the same with us. We donate our love, and we expect at least some sort of a benefit, some sort of a growth, so that it could grow. And it sounds bad because I'm saying like we love so that, how can I say this? It's like our love is not unconditionally. We expect something in return. Well, yes, I guess if you're going to put it that way, yes, we do expect something in return. And what we expect is for you to just be patient, to just listen to us, and to hopefully just don't be afraid to open yourself, because we're doing it because we're letting you know that we trust you already. Now it's your turn to trust in us. So yeah, so overall, this is just my experience about relationships. And another thing that I would like to share is, I don't believe that, let's say if I'm married, I don't believe that there's chores, there's things that guys can only do and things that girls can only do. I believe in equality, and I believe 50-50. So if my spouse is cooking, I will wash the dishes. If she's washing the clothes, I would wash the floor. If she's washing the house or something, I will wash the bathroom, let's say. Bottom line is to separate the responsibility and make things look more harmonious. Another thing I like is, if you're cooking, let's say if you're a spouse that cook, I don't like it when you cook 7 days a week for me. So what I like to do is, hey, if we're together, so cook 3 to 4 days a week, and the other 3 days we're just going to go in the restaurants and let's eat something and breathe fresh air, and from there on we can do any type of activity. Point is that I just don't like to have a woman where she needs to do things because she thinks she needs to. That doesn't look like marriage to me. That looks like slavery. Like, I just untie you, you're my spouse, this is your things, and I'll do the others. I don't believe that. I don't like that, and I don't want to believe it. I believe that you're my spouse, and that I should love you like if every day was your last, because I've been there already. I lost people where I feel bad because it makes me think that person died and that person never knew if I really liked him or not. So instead of, I'm just the type of person now that instead of saying I wish I could have done this, I wish I should have said that, I wish that would have happened, I don't say that anymore. If a relationship ends, if a relationship ends, I say, at least I gave it all. At least that person knew who I was and how committed I was. So that's it. You know, I have no regrets, and that's the point. So in marriage, no difference. You know, love the person like if every day was their last, and that's the best way of doing things. So to finish, I hope that there's some of the things that I have mentioned that maybe you might like, and possibly I will give an advice for INFJs to interact with others. There's no advice. You're perfect. You're all perfect, and you all know how to treat your partners. My advice to the other person is, if a person is loving, kind, and very opening, I would suggest that person to not freak out about it and think about why. Because most of the time, people who tends to be like that is because those are the most loneliest people in the world, and they just want some sort of a special connection. So that would be my advice. So just, if that person is creeping you out, confront that person instead of running away. Confront that person saying, look, I know you like me and all that stuff, and I understand that maybe you are looking for something special. So I'm gonna tell you, take it slowly, and I will talk to you then. You know, I will give you a chance, but all of the things that you're doing is not necessary. I think that will be the best way to tell a person. Me personally, that will be a nice way, because the thing is, sometimes people overdo it because they want to know if they have at least some sort of a chance, and they are just so desperate to have a chance that they just go all the way, I don't know, like they just overdo it sometimes. So if anybody, either INFJs, INFP, or whatever type are like that, or you know somebody like that, remember that the person just wants to know if there's any possibility, and just tell them they will have a chance so that they can take it slowly. That's my opinion though. So once again, I know this video is long. It's about now to be 20 minutes, and if you like this video, please comment, and once again, thank you for watching.